So we have to select the connection string for our Derby database from this combo. MyDB is our database, then finish. Now we are getting this kind of XML file, and don't worry about much of these files. It contains a lot of data. Now we have finished our first step, adding the configuration file. Again right click our project and then new and other, same as before, and go to Hibernate, then Hibernate mapping file. Previously we have added Hibernate configuration file. Now we are going to add Hibernate mapping file. It's actually Hibernate mapping file from POJOS. Keep the file name as it is, and next. Now you can see in available tables box, you can see the student. We have the student table in our MyDB database. Student is a table in our MyDB database. Now we have to add the table we want to the selected tables. Just get the wanted table from left box to right box by click add, and then next. Keep the ticks as it is in domain code and Hibernate XML mapping. Don't change them, keep the ticks as it is. We have to provide a package name, then finished. Now we have student.java and student.hbm.xml under the classes package. So you can see in student.java there are some methods relevant to the student table. Actually, name, GPA, age, SID are fields in the database table student, and you can see it's automatically generated the methods such like get age, get GPA, get name, get SID, and also set methods. Now you can see clearly the inside of the student.java file. You can see it's generated object-oriented code. You can see all the set and get methods are defined. It is automatically done by the Hibernate code. This is the importance of the Hibernate technology or Hibernate method. The table in database is mapped to a class in our programming code. That's the purpose of the Hibernate, that consider the record, consider a record in a table as an object. This is the inside of student.hbm.xml file. You can see the table name and also the fields in the table and in their data types. This is the mapping file, I mean mapping the table into a class in programming code is done by this student.hbm.xml file. This is basically XML. Don't worry about much about these codings. You just have to include this student.hbm.xml file in your code. It's automatically done the work for you. Again, right click the project, hibernate, then other, just as before, and then hibernate. Then we have to add the hibernate util.java. You can set the class name as hibernate util, and package is default one, and then finish. Right now our code is have all hibernate references. Now we have to create a data access class. We have to create a new Java class. We name it as data access. Right, this is our data access.java file or data access class. In data access class we have to create something called session. We do the transaction with this session. In hibernate util.java file there is a class defined called session factory. That's a class which is going to create session for us. So we have to create an object from session factory class. We have to create a session factory called here we called it as fac, and then a session. We define the session factory and session as class variables, and in the data access constructor likewise we can create or we can initialize the session factory. Fac equal hibernate util dot get session factory. We are initializing the session factory. Then session equal fac dot get current session. So that is, we are creating the session using the session factory, a method in session factory called get current session. We are creating a method called create user. So we are using the session we created. Here in Hibernate we are dealing with sessions in order to ensure that some transactions happen precisely or happen correctly. Otherwise we have to roll back the transaction. So okay, in create user method in our data access class